Welcome to the Bronx Journal. I'm your guest host, Dimitri Brown. The Black Legacy Club at Lehman College is a social club which strives for equality and recognition for African American students on campus. Here to tell us about the future goals of the club is President Ateo Peruyeo. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
How you doing?
Good. I'm good. You?
I'm doing good. So, can you tell us a little bit about Black Legacy?
Yeah. Black Legacy is the Black Student Union on campus. We do different things around the African diaspora. So when we talk about that, it's around the African continent.
Hold on, what's the African diaspora? So the people.
Those people who immigrated outside of Africa, mostly due to the African slave trade, and also through immigration and other means, war or whatever it may be. So we're including people outside of Africa.
Okay, cool. And what's the overall objective of your club?
Is to meet the interests of our communities. When we talk about that, when we say African communities in New York, in the Bronx, we're talking about African American communities, the West African communities, Latino communities, specifically Puerto Rican, Dominican, because I tell people Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic were just another stop on the boat.
Right. And what about there's some people at home that probably may not know the correlation between Dominican and Puerto Rican to the African movement. Can you explain a little bit about that? Like how does that relate to Black Legacy?
Well, in the movement, there's between Puerto Ricans and African Americans. They've actually always been since, from my knowledge, since the Black Panther Party, or even before that. Culturally speaking, we've come together. Hip hop is probably the best part of that, with Puerto Rican and African Americans combining to create something new within their community. But politically, I don't know if people know about the Young Lords, which was an organization similar to the Black Panthers. 25% of that membership was African American, and similar numbers with Puerto Ricans being in the Black Panther Party in New York City.
I never knew that. That's interesting. Very interesting. So speaking about the Black Legacy, what are the different roles that are delegated to the members of your club?
There's president, vice president, secretary, and then treasurer, and then we have different committees. So it really depends on what role. As president, I'm the face of the organization. I have to deal with the bureaucracy at the school. Vice president takes my place in any other, when I'm not there. Treasurer oversees all financial issues with the club. So when we make a proposal to get money, they take care of that. Secretary takes care of, the minutes, records what's happening at the meetings. But that's something we really don't want to stress on, is actually the roles of creating leadership. So nobody's that one leader. We always try to develop leadership in a way that everybody is doing something.
That's pretty cool. And how long have you guys been around for?
The club has been around since 2007. I wasn't here. I was at another campus, so I transferred here. But they started doing stuff around the Gina 6. I think in spring 2007. I can't remember exactly, but that they had a major mobilization on campus, a walkout in defense of the Gina 6, which was a whole racist debacle in Gina, Louisiana, with high school students in the South.
Cool. Interesting. What are some of the rules or standards that Black Legacy has that they stand by? Like if somebody wanted to become a member?
Well, there's basic things, just coming to a meeting, actually, presenting yourself in a way that is conducive to productivity. And that's the most important thing. You don't have to dress a certain way or be a certain way, but be disciplined in a way that you're gonna actually do work and do good work, but also have fun at the same time, and that's something that we try to do.
Are there certain rules as far as words that people can't say? Because I know Black Legacy is very much about empowerment. So not saying the N-word. How do y'all feel about that?
In Black Legacy, we can't say the B word, the N word, S word, referring to Latinos. Those words that you can't say unless they're in a certain context when we're discussing a historical point of view, for example. So, and then every time you say one of these words, you have to pay $1 into a can. So, people can, and it goes back to the club.
I think I heard about that. There was some actress on the set of True Grit who was having some actors pay her money like whenever they curse. So that's kind of an interesting thing that you're doing. What are y'all advocating around campus that's important?
Uniting the people who are across the African diaspora and understand that our interests are the same. So whether or not you're African American, you're Latino, you're West African, it really doesn't matter. Our interests are the same at the end of it. So we're doing things around tuition hikes, which is a big thing that we've been doing for a while. Last year we held the first protest in almost 2 years on campus, probably since Jena 6. So we do a lot of different things.
And what was that protest about?
Well, last year was about raising tuition hikes, in which they successfully did already raise tuition. And then now we're just right now suing CUNY based on how they illegally raised tuition.
And how's that going?
Right now, I mean, we're still taking care of it. There is nothing set right now, but we're still going to continue the legal strategy of it.
Cool, sounds good. We're looking for new members of Black Legacy. What do y'all look for? What's
people who want to do stuff around the Pan-African community or the African diaspora, right here in the Bronx or whatever, like having that mindset that you do want to do something in your communities that is a positive change, and that's the most important aspect.
Is anybody welcome? Asian, Caucasian? Is anybody welcome, or do they have to fit a certain ethnic? Do they have to be a part of the African diaspora in order to be a part of the movement?
No, you don't have to be. It's open to all people of color, but white people as well. As long as you fit within the model of wanting to do work, and the club itself, the mission of the club, then there is no problem.
Do you think people are apathetic about joining organizations like this?
Some are, but we have to do political education, let people know that there are issues in your community that the government doesn't want you to know about.
And what are some of those things that you think the government doesn't want us to know about?
It could be simple things like housing, for example. Like there are issues of housing in the Bronx that the government doesn't want people to just talk about and actually do things about, because the government does lose money on that. It could be about education, changing the education system in which it benefits our communities directly. That's important, and people don't realize that what kind of education are we getting? Are we getting education that actually means something for our community?
And you think CUNY so far has been doing a great job at it, a bad job, or?
I don't think CUNY is doing a good enough job. Since 1970s, when ethnic studies programs came into play in CUNY, the university has tried to downgrade the departments, or in fact eliminate them. And those are essential programs to educating our community, because we're not equipped with knowledge of our communities.
So what do you think they need to do to further advance the goals of Black Legacy and for the students on campus?
The administration themselves?
Yeah, the administration.
I would say the easiest thing is to pump money into the ethnic and gender studies. So I'm talking about the African American studies, Latin American and Puerto Rican studies departments, and women and gender studies department.
Cool. Do you have any events on campus?
Yeah, we have an event coming up soon. Malcolm X Speaks, talking about Malcolm X in his own words before he died. So we're showing that because people always say that Malcolm X is this evil guy, and we want to educate people about Malcolm X.
Interesting. Is there any way for the people to contact Black Legacy through email or any other means?
Yeah, it's Lehman College BSU at yahoo.com.
Okay. And where could they find you on campus?
You could find us in Student Life Building, room 208, in the main room, and that's our office.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Ateo, for being on the Bronx Journal. We appreciate it.